Hello, everyone around the world. Welcome. Bienvenidos, que Carlos irfete, to Coloring My Way Across the Globe. I'm your host, Lauren Battistini, color consultant, artist, language learner, and world traveler. Join me each week as I chronicle the most colorful people, places, and experiences I encounter off the beaten path, both near and far. So, let's go. Vámonos, que pame. Okay, friends, welcome back to Coloring My Way Across the Globe. I'm your host, Lauren Battistini, of course, and this is my very first video episode of the podcast. So those listeners, you'll definitely want to make sure that in today's episode that you tune in through video, preferably YouTube. So I'm so delighted to introduce my guest today. She is a renowned artist, really just getting her start back in 2018, so not that long ago. She is a consummate entrepreneur. She's also a stroke survivor. She had her stroke in her mother's womb, the safest place you can have one. And so Clara, who is now 18, is navigating this world of art and young adult life, and she's a highly creative professional. So, of course, I wanted her to be my guest. So, everyone, please welcome to the show Clara Woods and her mom, Betina.
Hello.
And welcome. Welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. And for my listeners and viewers, I first found Clara a few months ago through Instagram, which is my favorite platform. As being an artist myself and a color professional, I utilize Instagram all the time. And so that's how I found Clara, and her art and her personality and her vibrancy just captivated me. So here's where I want to start, ladies. I read in your profile that you, Clara, are very inspired by Frida Kahlo. How so?
Are you? How much? A lot.
A lot.
Yep.
A lot.
Mostly Clara. So I will help Clara to translate, and she can stop me if I'm saying something that's not true or it's not what she feels, right, Clara?
And listen, before you go on, I have got to interject. Clara, you have such a personality, and I know that though you're limited in words you say, you absolutely have an opinion, and you're very expressive, and we all know. So I know that
Yeah.
you'll stop your mom if she says something that's not quite expressive of your views.
Now, don't move a lot because we have small space here.
That's okay.
So Clara started painting when she was 6 years. Then she stopped because she wanted to do some sport, and she started again when she was around 10, 11. And first she was destroying all her paintings, like painting black or just really destroying the canvas, like the one we have behind. This one she cut it. And then we start seeing colors and just forms, and it was whoa, something it's cool about that. And one day I was just I went from Florence to Milan, and I was in the train station, and I saw a small book of Frida Kahlo, and in that time I even knew a lot about Frida. I just bought because it was cute, and I knew Frida could be inspiring, but I didn't know all her history. And I brought home, and straight away Clara was in love with Frida, and she was kissing the book, and she was like everything about Frida and sleeping with the book. So it became part of our lives. We went to an exhibition that year in Milan of Frida, and then Clara watched the movie, everything, so became real like a friend of Clara.
Hmm. Sort of like a soulmate in art, right? An art soulmate. I understand that. So what is it about Frida's art you think that captivates you so much, Clara? Is it her use of color? Is it
Her story or her art? The story. And then because when Frida was born with a disability, with, I think it was, I don't know in English, but spina bifida or something, and
kind of it?
she had already difficulties, and then she had a major accident in a bus that really broke her all over, and it was a miracle she was alive. So I think this connection is the most like present in your life, right, Clara? And then the art, because her art is really Clara Frida's art is like something that goes in your heart, like because it's powerful. The message, I think, right? Yeah.
Yes. Okay, well, now's a good time for us to segue over to the use of very bright colors. And I'm a fan of bright colors. And Clara, a lot of your art, your body of work, you've got a few pieces that are neutral in tone. I've seen a few that I like. But then a lot of your art is just very vibrant. These colors, they're not muted. Why do you use such bright colors in your artwork?
Why do you use? You just use. It's just what is in your mind. Yeah, we like since she started painting, so real painting with 11 years, and since the beginning when we have our other artists or art critics, they always said that Clara had this sense for color so strong, and it's not something that we teached her or that it's just that comes from her. And I remember in the beginning, because I love art, everything, but I'm so organized and I have all like in my mind, let's say blue can't go with brown and all these things. And when Clara started painting, and she always need help to open the paintings and to organize the space, all these things. So when I was helping her in the beginning, I remember a painting that I said, Clara, you cannot use red and pink, like pink, pink,
And she
and
said, yes, I can.
orange, because I always grew up like it's better to not mix pink, red, and orange, let's say. And she was, no, I will use. And I was, in that time, I was still like trying to give her my opinion. And that painting was so beautiful, was like amazing. And I was, okay, I will shut my mouth and let her be, because I think it's something from her, yeah, for her, from her soul in the end.
It is from her heart and it's from her mind and her eye for color. And so you all know I'm a color expert. I'm a color professional. This is what I've been doing for multiple years. And I also apply color theory to my own artwork. But this I'll say about color. One of the reasons I love it so much is because you cannot tame color. You really cannot tame color because different light will make a color look differently. Different times of day, colors will look different. And though I can teach the rules of color theory, I can absolutely teach them. I like to break those rules because I do not believe that color can be contained in a box. And this is what I see, Clara, in your art, is you utilize colors in some unexpected places where you wouldn't think you'd use color. And then you take an object that you might associate with a certain color and you flip it around and you paint it in a completely different color scheme.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that drew my eye to your art is you're not afraid to use color, and it's your art is mature because you're a young adult, but there's this whimsical childlike quality to your art, and I really it just that's why your art stands out to me. So one of the things I need to say to the listeners, those who are not tuning in and viewing, I mentioned at the very beginning, at the introduction, that Clara suffered a stroke in the womb. And what's happened subsequently is she understands three languages: English, uh, Portuguese, and Italian, but is not able to vocalize or verbalize all of her words. And so her mom and her dad help her a lot with translations. But I understand that you all are working on this software to be able to. Is it a sight to text to voice type of software? What is it?
So Clara can't speak, write, or read, but she has a very good photograph memory. So
Yes.
she can learn some words that she sees a lot, and then she knows. We have some things she uses. So she uses a lot signs, Clara. So we have our own signs. Let's say sparkling water.
What is
Go
that? What is that one?
sparkling water.
Oh, sparkling water. Okay.
Black, red, mom. This is some of sign language we learn here. Red. It's red also here because we learn some Italian sign language, then we learn some American sign language. The things that Clara also has difficult of learning a new language because her main problem is in the output of the information and not the input, so she can understand everything
Yep.
in three languages. Since she has also a mobility problem, so her right side is not it's weaker than the left side.
Mhm.
For her to use the iPad, it's difficult day by day because she needs them to open the iPad to find a position. She has a software called Touch Chat that it's with images and written, so she can touch and it will speak, and if it form phrase, so she can say I'm hungry or a lot of things, and she's very good because she can program herself the things that she hates using it, so she doesn't use a lot. And
Uh, I understand that.
she uses also like WhatsApp, iMessage, because then she can write like small phrase, right? And sign language we tried, but it's really hard for her to learn, and also mostly no one's use, so it's always a restricted communication. I'm trying to make her do much more with the tablet, with the iPad, because then when we are not together she can do by herself. And
Mhm.
once she learns really well, she can do, but it's a everyday battle, right, Clara? Yeah.
And also, let's not kid ourselves. Clara, you have three languages going on in your mind at any given moment in your household. You've got English, you've got Portuguese, you've got Italian. So that's what I want to talk about is the language learning in the home. And tell me about the ethnicity of every one of the languages spoken in the home, please.
You? How it started, all the languages? No. Which language I speak mostly with you? You prefers Portuguese. Clara prefers Italian, that we speak with her in Italian, and then Portuguese, and then English. Ourselves. Um, but like it's like this. You at school, you understand English, but sometimes it's too fast. If our
Oh,
accent is different, because the history is like this. I'm from Brazil, so I moved to Italy, and then I met Carlo. Carlo is born and raised in Italy, but
mhm.
he's half Canadian and half Dutch, so it's a lot of
Wow, what a combination! You
yeah.
this is another reason why I was so fascinated because I knew that you were Brazilian and that Carlo was Italian. But and so then Clara was born in Italy, is this right?
Clara was born in Italy, and the funny thing is that I'm Italian for my family, for my dad's family. So when I went to Italy, I had the citizenship. But Carlo was born and raised there, and he doesn't have the citizenship because he's not. His parents are not in Italian, and in Italy, even if you are born there, if your parents are not born there, you don't have the citizenship just after 18 years. So Carlo is Canadian and Dutch, and I'm Italian. So the kids that were born in Italy, and they are Italian just because of me. So it's a mess.
But this is it's so fascinating to me, and so through my process of doing this podcast, you all, I'm meeting people from all over the world. When I was in Greece back in October, I interviewed a whole bunch of people there. I just interviewed a guy a few weeks ago who he was born in Italy, is a French national, met a German lady, then now they live in Portugal, and so their kids speak English, Portuguese, uh, yes, Portuguese, German, French, and he says he curses in Italian. So, oh my gosh, so many languages going on. So you all have the same thing with all these languages going on in your house.
Mostly, when Clara was born, I will speak just Portuguese because it's my mother language. And then when we discover her problem, doctor said you should speak Italian. So I was speak Italian, and in that time my Italian was not so good because I was learning myself too. Uh, then we went to another. I don't know if here the name logopedist. No, the doctor that helps to speak.
Oh, speech pathologist?
Yes, we went to
Pathologo. Speech pathologist.
we went there, and this woman said, "Ah, you need to speak your mother language." And then I was, it's enough. I will speak wherever I want because
Yeah.
she understood in any case. So it's not a good thing to do, I know, but I speak mostly Portuguese and Italian. And it was funny because when we were living in Italy, if I get angry, I would speak in Portuguese. Now I speak in Italian if I'm angry. I don't know. Now it's a mix. Here, it's a lot both of language because here in three, I speak now English, Italian, and Portuguese. Yeah. Because here we have more Brazilian friends, so we speak more Portuguese in the context. Three, at home too. Because Davi, our son, he now just speaks English. He doesn't want to speak anymore Italian. You listen? And he doesn't speak Italian anymore. Just English with you. And fast. You don't understand anything. I didn't even know that.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm so fascinated with languages. I also am fascinated with sign language, and I wondered, I've seen some of your hand gestures, Clara, and so I wondered if you were utilizing a hybrid sign language technique.
Yeah.
And
It's
yeah.
not hybrid, it's like a little bit Italian, a little bit American, a little bit Clara's own language. So it's, yeah. This is thank you here. And in Florence, I think was the same. I don't know. Yeah. Thank you. It's like this in sign language.
Mm-hmm. Well, my father went and got a master's. He's got multiple degrees, okay? But he went and got a master's degree in special education at one point, and one of his core curricula was sign language. So he became pretty conversant in sign language there for a while. And I went and I learned the alphabet so that if I had to, I could at least spell words out. But I don't really understand the gestures and the.
I think sign language should be second language for everyone and should be like international sign language because now every country has their own sign language and then it also becomes every region has their own like a normal language, so if we speak Italian in Rome you have your own accent, if we speak in Florence it's different, and also here. So if we could create an international sign language and became like English, that is no the first language. Everyone in the world studies English as second language, because then would solve so many communication problems for people with disabilities or whatever. But it's a big dream.
Yeah, it would make things a lot more simple. I think it would ease the burden of having a hard time communicating. I think it would streamline things to such a degree. Speaking of language and art, so Clara, I've looked at all of your body of work and I notice and I love that you have keywords that you use in a lot of your pieces to express your emotions. one of the things I was most intrigued by is one particular piece where it was, I believe, a Bible reference talking about when Jesus said, "I leave my peace to you, my peace I give you." It was some reference to scripture, I felt like. So can you all speak to that? The use of, I want to say, your faith language in your art?
So we are believers in Jesus um, a lot, so it's part of our life. And Clara had really good experience. If you want to tell some, you, God is always near you. You don't know. You think he's, yeah. And you pray. Not so much, but you pray. Yeah. And because of that, you use the words that, because then we. So she wants to say an experience that she had because. Vuoi dire di quando hai iniziato a camminare? No. No? She, Sorry, I was speak Italian again.
I heard it. I understand a little bit of Italian, a little bit. I'm part Italian, a little bit, and Spaniard, and some other stuff. I'm a little
I
mixed.
was asking her if she wants to talk about some history, so she said her connection with God, correct me if I'm wrong, okay? Her connection with God is a lot connected with my father, with my dad, that he passed away 3 years ago when mostly when we arrived in America. When we moved in this house, yeah. So he was living here and we were in Italy. Then it's a long story, but he had a metastasis and no one knows. So when we arrived here, we could be with him 2 months and then he passed away. So it was really traumatic for us, all these things. And then Clara was really, really close with him. So she has all a series of paradise after his death. It was a way of, you know, I think grieving for her. And I always try to say, Clara, you will never be alone because, you have Jesus and Jesus will be with you. And so she has the youth group in church and we try to do these things that she knows, because I don't believe so much like in religion, but in a relationship, and this is what we try to give her. And sometimes in church she writes the verses that she listens during
Sermon.
the service, yeah, the sermon. And she has a really nice experience when she starts walking. Can you stop? Because it's all jumping around.
Yeah,
Because
taking the camera shaky.
mostly she couldn't walk, and doctor said we never know if she will be able to walk or not. And when she was two years, she couldn't be on feet, but she never could walk by herself. So she could be just walking with hands. And then if we stop and just, took out the hand, she would fall. And then when she was 3 years, my dad went to pick her up in the kindergarten, and they said, you need to see this. And then she was walking. So she was walking from night to day. And then when she entered in the car, my dad said, okay, Clara, how cool and all that. And then she called my dad and she said, like, she made this, that it's God for us. It's her sign for God.
What?
And what? How did you know? And I always say, yeah, I always say she had an experience because I don't know what that mean exactly, but I always in my mind comes this image of Clara walking hand by hand with Jesus, and that it was because of that she started walking. You don't know why you did that. Yeah.
It's the Lord's miracle. Well, I also am a Christian, not so tied up to religion, like you said, but my truest spiritual beliefs are in Christ, in what he says in the Bible. And I think it's so appropriate that as sisters in Christ here, we're speaking just the day before Easter, the Lord's resurrection day. And I, I had a feeling that you all were my sisters in Christ. I just felt that I could, and it really, I think, manifests itself in the way that Clara conducts herself, in the joy that she has despite having to overcome a lot of obstacles. And then, of course, in her biblical references, I thought this young lady must be a believer. She must be my sister in Christ. So I'm delighted to know that, and I'm not at all surprised.
I fought a lot with God in the past because I said, you can heal Clara, and why you are not doing that? And I have, hope every time, like when it was her birthday. Now she will speak. So I always expect that 5 years she will speak, 6 years she will speak, 7 years. And I was really frustrated with God until I said, okay, what do you want me to do with it? Because, if you are not healing her or, making her speak, because actually it's not just the speaking the problem, it's a lot of things. And then when I start doing the art, she started doing the art, and I said, okay, let's do something about it for her future. I never imagined we would be here today, because now it's not just anymore about Clara. It's not just anymore about the art, but it's about the message behind. So
Right.
now I say, okay, this is a mission and not anymore just business or creating a future, because it's much bigger than we can imagine and we can like relate with. And I think this is the most important, using Clara's gift of the art and what God gave to spread this message about inclusion, art that you can communicate, you can. And this is nice, even if it's really challenging as a family. And it would be much easier to leave Clara in an institute and live our lives. So this is reality.
It's a
But
reality.
yeah, we choose not to, and it's also a high price to pay, to be able to motivate her to be mom, to manage the business, to do the impact in our family is huge. Tell? Okay.
She's thinking of something else.
The God. That sometimes you are angry too? No. De la big sis. Clara wants to say that she prayed a lot for a big sister. I'm not pregnant because here they have a program, Big Brother and Big Sister, so you can have a friend or a kind of mentor. And Davi has a big brother 1 year now, and they never found a match for Clara. And finally they found one, and they went out for the first time yesterday. So Clara is very grateful.
Was it good? Was it good?
They are learning how to communicate,
Very nice.
and she knows sign language. That no, a little
A
bit,
little bit.
because her mom is deaf and her dad is deaf.
Ah, okay, okay. Well, this is a good segue for us to talk about teamwork and your family and the business of art. But just 1 second before we do that, just don't let me forget. But I just want to say, Clara, that I, as an onlooker, I see your art as It's your ministry, it's your calling, it's your creative outlet, it's your way, it's one of the ways of expressing yourself. And I think it's also setting an example to other, first of all, just young people, period, to pursue their dreams. But secondly, this idea of inclusivity, of people who are disabled, or some people say alter abled. I just feel like this, what you do has such an impact on a number of levels. It's very significant. It's very impressive, and I really commend you. So, as a team, as a family, who manages what aspect of the business?
Oh, Clara.
Obviously, Clara's the artist.
Yeah, Clara is the artist and the teenager and she has a big character. So
Yes.
it's not been easy for me in the last months. And I will say, I'm, what do you want to say? From the hospital? Yeah, and I was even in the hospital the other day, the day before yesterday, because it was too much stress and I have a discharge of adrenaline in my heart. So I was checking because, it's like uh, managing. We moved to US, so it was starting from ground zero. So I need to learn everything here and everything. Clara and Carlo, my husband, they have ADHD, so it's more complicated. So it was all learning from the ground, everything. And also we need, because we sold our business in Italy to be able to follow Clara. So we are investing everything we have, financially, energy, our life, so our jobs. We don't have jobs. We work with Clara, with her brand. So a lot of people say about also, you are exploiting your daughter, where is going the money, and all these things. And behind the scenes, I can show the financials, and we are investing everything we have to make this thing work. So the pressure is really big.
You are listening to Coloring My Way Across the Globe. Stories of the most colorful people, places, and experiences off the beaten path, both near and far, as hosted by myself, Lauren Battistini. Each week, I'll be interviewing color professionals, artists, world travelers, language learning experts, digital nomads, other entrepreneurs, creative professionals, visionaries. There's something here for everyone interested in the world around them. Keep listening, there's more to follow.
And with this, we respect Clara, like her timing, her when she started, all these things. And also we are trying to teach her. So it's not like, okay, you are doing this, but you need to have responsibilities. Because we've been with a lot of expectations in institutes, schools, but in the end it's so hard, because if you go to a school, let me just finish this, for people with disabilities, each kid is different. Each kid has their own needs. So it's really difficult to pretend something where it's already a struggle behind. And also, the society is not ready for kids with disabilities or for how to deal. It's a lot of fear. So I do all the marketing and the business, and Carlo does the logistics, and he stays more with Clara, so he's running all the painting part. So to manage her when painting, like opening, cleaning, and following everything we need to do. Okay, what do you want to say?
Mama.
You cried of the makeup? Ah, okay.
I saw that video. I think I know what you're talking about. The Instagram with someone trying to do Clara's makeup or tell her how to do her makeup. Is that what you're referencing, Clara?
Yeah, it's yeah, it's we are dealing with so many things. I will say, Fifi, just a second. When we try to include her, we try to say, so sometimes And this time, when I went to the hospital, because she had angry outbursts, and then I need to manage, because let's say we have a meeting and then she has this angry outbursts, and I cannot just say I'm not going to a meeting or do things, and you
Yeah.
keep this inside. So Clara wants to say about the makeup. So she had, it's also here it's complicated because I will say just a little. So she went to school, and a friend, now she has two friends in school, and they make up her, and then it was a little bit dirty. So someone said to her, then the class was finished, and someone said to her, you can't, I will clean a little bit because it was dirty. And then this person cleaned everything. So Clara felt really, really hurted, because she wanted to be with the makeup in any case. And then when she arrived home, she was crying so much. Yeah, she was crying, and she was like, and she said, I want to make this video to say that people cannot decide for me. And for us, it was really powerful, because in the night we went for dinner out, and she make up herself, and it was not perfect, but she was so like, I'm so happy that I make up myself and that I'm going out, and she was like glowing, I think it's the word.
Well, I saw the video and your makeup. I thought you looked really beautiful. I really, really did.
Yeah, I will not tell that part because we have some issues with people that felt, because Clara showed the middle finger in the video, saying this is for everyone that wants, not everyone, but it was like, you can't take decisions for me. And this is one of the ways of Clara communicate. Sometimes she's overwhelmed, or it's like we say words, she does this, and
Exactly.
it's not a good thing, but sometimes it's what she needs. So
Well, and also look, as a person who's on social media, also as a mom, Bettina, I have three kids: a son who's 23, two daughters who are 20 and 18. They are young people. They're going through 1,000 things at once, and they have to express themselves, and they're not going to get it right perfectly. And I think it's better to allow them to express themselves and to give them that freedom, and also to be on social media. People need to see the authentic you. They need to see everything in life is perfect and polished, and everything's great every day. You all are dealing with 1,000 things at once. Uh, Trying to manage a family business, trying to manage a lot of things. And I've been following your story, Clara. So I know that you've also had, you had surgery for your hip, and you've had these mobility challenges, your linguistic challenges. Also, I saw, segueing over to something else, I just saw last week you all put up an Instagram video about how people kind of tend to want you, Clara, to meet other friends who also have certain disabilities, when in fact you are a diverse individual who would like to have friends of all ages, all
yeah,
abilities.
because when we raise this on social media, we have so many people saying, just go to programs like Best Buddy, I don't know if this is the name, or just find a community of people with disabilities that she can go. And this drives me crazy, because it's so like, why people with disabilities needs to just be with people with disabilities, because this solves the problem of everyone. No one faces the challenge, and it's like segregating. They are there, they are having fun, and that's it. And who is volunteering? That I'm not criticizing, but everyone feels I did a good thing in the end of the day. And then everyone's problem is solved, but their problem is not solved, because
Right.
they are they are like everyone else. They have feelings, they have sexual desires, they want to have financial freedom, everything like not. But since they have a disability, and even if it's not so grave no, but like Clara has also, a mental disability because she cannot do math and these things, but people in the wheelchair that are completely well, they just can't walk, like just can't walk. I don't know if I will say something ableist, I'm sorry, but people that can't walk and they can do everything else, they are treated like they don't know, they are not worth, so it's so much things that. And when we are dealing, it's like yesterday I was speaking with a friend and I said, I'm just tired of fighting all the time, because you need to fight and you need to show. And on social media we are trying to show the both sides. Like Clara, we take her as she's an artist, she's an artist, she's doing, and if you want to buy, you buy because of her art, not because of her disability. But we also want to show what we are going through as a family, because
Yeah.
it's important that it's not all easy. Because people say, we think you are millionaires, we are just like playing, no. Like it's everything, anything that this. And it's important also for other families that they can see that has other possibility, not just because people doesn't know what they can do. And these kids with disabilities, they are so, like Clara is so smart, and she's capable to do so many things,
Right.
that I'm like, how can I leave her just because it's easier for everyone, and that's it.
That's right. That's right. Well, you're a lovely, loving mother, and you want what's best for your daughter. And I'm sorry you had to go to the emergency room last week, but I can understand how all of the just stress and pressure of trying to manage everything would affect you. I pray for you to have some rest, a little bit of self care if you can. Uh,
Yeah.
let's switch gears to talk about Art Basel, because Clara, you've achieved a lot of success as an artist, and rightfully so. And you've gone after your dreams. So I am understanding that you were featured at Art Basel in Miami, which is a dream of a ton of people.
Yeah, mostly not like in the show Art Basel Fair, but in 2018 she was invited for a non-profit to make an exhibition in Miami. So the first year she attended Art Basel was in 2018, and it was her first painting sold in an auction. So it was cool, and she was really small. Just a second. Can you stop? We are doing the video.
Is that Carlo?
Yes, of course.
Hi, Carlo. Buongiorno, Carlo.
Hey, hello.
Lauren Battistini. Nice to see you, sir.
You've got an Italian surname.
I
That's
have an
last
Italian. I have an Italian surname. That's my ex-husband's name, but my mother's maiden name was Barbara. So I'm from New Orleans, but I have Italian heritage. I think Sicilian and Spaniard heritage, and a little bit of French and some Scottish. It's like a Mediterranean mix.
Oh, here's Clara pushing me away. It says, don't invade the girl. Oh, okay, sorry
Nice
about
to
that.
see you, Carlo. Nice to see you. Okay.
So, yeah. So in 2018, we had this experience in Miami, and it was cool. Then the pandemic hit, everything happened. And
Right.
when we moved here in 2021, Louis Vuitton Group, so LVMH Group, hosted Clara's exhibition with other two artists in Art Basel Week. That it was so cool, because Clara was doing a collab with Virgil Abloh before he died, and unfortunately we couldn't go ahead with the collab. But he was the one that believed in Clara to do this, and to get invited for this opportunity. And it was a great experience. And in 2022, also she exhibited in an event called Art Beast from I forgot his name. Yeah, from another artist. God. What's good with God? With art beast? Yeah, his name has. Yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot the name.
That's okay.
The event was called Art Beast. You know his name? Okay, Clara will search. Wait, it's not so
That's
pop.
fine. I'll wait.
And so yeah, we think it's really cool, and it's a big things happen in Miami. She was still a kid, so we need to. Ah, okay. She's saying she'll participate with two artists, and one it's called Andres God. So because of this, she was doing
Ah,
God.
Andres God. Oh, okay, Andres God. Okay, very good to know. So, I
Yeah.
have a, I have a question. You've achieved this success as an artist, obviously with the help of your marketing team, right? Your parents. I am an artist, as I said, and I'm trying to expand my business and take it more seriously. So I'm always up for advice from other artists and their teams about how to build my business. I've decided that, and you can see some of my art behind here. I really love to do floral. I love florals and I love travel illustrations, any kind of landscape based stuff, and I love to use a lot of color. So, what advice do you have for me as an artist to grow my business? I'm all ears.
Um. Yeah. Mostly,
I put you on the spot. Sorry.
you need. No, I think it's most you get visibility. Most you will be able to put your art there. The problem with artists is that they are doing art and they don't know how then to organize themselves to have a platform. It's not easy. So I think trying to be more organized possible, and knowing that you will just sell if you have visibility. Even with Clara, now she has more than 1 million followers on social media. But if we don't post every day, if we don't talk every day, if we want to sell, we need to say, you can buy here, you can do this here. And
That's
I think this is something that we need to, yeah, that an artist or need to take someone. But it's also when you go to a gallery, it's not like, I'm in a gallery, I will sell,
it's
because
not
most.
guaranteed.
Yeah. So I think now with social media, internet, artists have so much possibility, and if you, like you said, you are in flowers, then our difficulty with Clara is that she has so many different styles and things that it's hard to give a theme. And if you are saying like, I'm a flower artist, it's much easier to get this team and explore, and
Yes.
then you will have a faithful public or community in that team. With Clara, it's so much different things that sometimes people get confused, or they just like one kind of her art. So
Well, what I'm hearing you saying that I appreciate, it resonates with me. Number one, we have to be organized as artists and factor in the business side of it. And I agree with you. And number two, you have to ask for the sale. You have to continually every day be conversing about it. And it's not being pushy. You have to utilize your platforms to put your work out there every day and ask for the sale. And to your third point about me being a floral artist, let me tell you something. For the last several years, one of the reasons why I haven't pursued art full time is because I didn't know what kind of art I wanted to do. I was doing fashion faces. I did fashion design school for a while. So I was drawing all these fashion faces and fashion figures. And then I was doing some travel based illustrations, landscapes. I do love those. Some nautical stuff, love those. But what I always go back to the florals. And to me, the florals is something where I actually can capitalize on that. I could turn that into a commercial project because florals could be used in conjunction with a fragrance brand, a cosmetic company, a travel bureau, right? So floral art, and by the way, it's hard to mess up a flower. Flowers are just pretty. They're just pretty. Like this right here. This was a little pen sketch a marker sketch that I did really quickly, and I got a ton of compliments on it because they're freaking flowers. People just love flowers. So Thank you for the advice. Thank you for the advice. Now, Claire, let's spin it back to you. I saw your 18th birthday party, big giant soiree that looked so fun, and you had a great audience there. Tell me about that.
Um,
What do that you did your 1,000 artwork? She presented her 1,000 artwork, so the number
1,000?
1,000.
A
Yes.
number? Wait, 1,000 pieces of art, or the theme
Oh,
is the
she
number?
present her 1,000 piece of art whole.
Oh, her 1,000 sold.
Yes.
Oh, okay, okay.
We have all organized in a file with numbers, so each artwork's numbered, and this was the number 1,000. And then we have a kind of tradition now because her first exhibition in 2018, I just got some bodyguards. They were guys working with me, and we make her entrance with 12 years with these bodyguards. And then we have this also in the Miami show with Louis Vuitton. And then I said, let's do again because then we have all the history. So she arrived with this, and those were real bodyguards with these beautiful bodyguards, and then and a beautiful car. So it was from a friend. Yes, it, for social media content.
Yeah, well, and you had on these, didn't you have on sparkly pants? Your whole outfit was beautiful. Didn't you have sparkly pants? They were like they just were, your whole outfit was great. I loved it.
This is all market behind and a story to tell and everything. Today, you want? Today we are going to an exhibition in Los Angeles because we live in Huntington Beach, so it's south of Los Angeles, and we are going to an exhibition, an opening of Gregory Seif. He is an artist. We never met him yet, but he was one of the first artists to support Clara here in LA. We didn't met him, no? We saw his mural in Long Beach. So we are going to meet him to buy one painting of him. He bought a print of us. You want to do a print for him? Drawing. Okay. So when he helped us with our visa, so he wrote all statement of Clara and her art because he is, let's say, an artist that is recognized and nice. So we are going for the first time to meet him.
That's wonderful to make those connections. That's
Yeah.
great. So, go ahead. Was she saying something?
You are thinking what you can give to him. You want to Jude? Okay. We have our friend. She lives nearby, and she has a wall outside of her house that gives to the road, and it's all black. And she invited Clara to paint in a mural there. And since Clara never painted a mural, I said, let's collab with this artist because he has more experience. And so today we will speak with him about doing this collab together in this.
I look forward to seeing that collaboration. That's going to be very interesting. So, what I thought we could do before we close, I thought we would look at any piece of art that you've got there in the studio that you can show and tell me a little bit of a story behind it.
We separated some, like, because we don't have a lot here. It's all in exhibition right now.
And that's a great problem to have, isn't it? I love it.
Wait. This is a piece.
Oh, that's a piece called Chocolate, yes.
By 24, and it's chocolate, her guinea pig. So she draw the guinea pig.
That's so awesome. I love that. Chocolate.
And it has a happy heart face.
Mm-hmm. And the heart is one of your signature items that you
Yeah.
include in a lot of your art pieces, Clara. So,
Oh, and we have this that I love this piece. We don't have anymore the full collection, but it's based in the feelings, and
mm,
it's really kind of pop. This is confused, you see.
mm-hmm. Yep. And using more of those
Yeah.
very vibrant hues and interesting color combinations.
And Clara wants to show that she has the certificate of authenticity.
Oh, yes. Thank you for showing that. I think that's so important. People who really do want to collect art, they want those certificates of authenticity.
And we have the scarred one.
Scared. Okay. I like that. I
So
love
those are, yeah. Oh. Okay.
beautiful.
So-
Beautiful. I like that your certificate of authenticity has a lot of detail on it and includes a picture of the original work. That's nice. I need to do those for myself. So, ladies,
Sorry.
I know you have important events to go to, so I always ask my guests, what does living a colorful life look like to you, and how do you live colorfully?
So I'm a rainbow girl. For me, everything's rainbow. I even have my course about how to dream big called the Rainbow Plane. So everything rainbow. I love colors. And Clara is also a rainbow girl. No, you love colors to paint. Yeah, and to show others. And you think this bring happiness for people's life. Yeah,
That's beautiful.
at home, at in Italy, no, here. We went to Joshua Tree and we found the Rainbow House. I don't know if you saw.
Where, where is?
Joshua Tree is nearby 2 hours.
Yes, Joshua Tree. Okay, the Rainbow House. I need to.
We rent the Rainbow House, so it was all rainbow. Everything was rainbow in the house. And then Clara got a little bit anxious because it was too vibrant and it had some masks on the wall. So the masks were giving a little bit. It was like this, Clara.
A little scary, right? A little scary. So speaking of colorful places, let's end here. I want you to tell me, because a lot of my listeners like to travel around the world. Could you tell me a couple of places both in Italy and then in Brazil where people would want to visit?
Yeah. Sorry, we are. You want to say Firenze. Firenze, Florence,
Firenze.
Italy.
Okay.
Okay, it's touristic, but you can find really good spots. And Clara is in love with the Duomo. It's her happy place. And you need to go up the Duomo thousand of. I never went, even if I lived there 17 years.
Okay, well, I'll have to go.
Clara went a lot of times. So once? No, you went more to go. Okay. And Brazil, I would say they have, always say Rio. They have so many wonderful places. If you just look around, not the touristic place, even in São
Like
Paulo.
where's a neighborhood, for example, in Rio that's not so touristic? What part of
I
town?
don't know so much Rio. Like I've been there when I was a kid, so I don't have experience. But I'm from São Paulo. So
Okay,
São Paulo, you have amazing beaches, small beaches or beaches like 2 hours from the city, 3 hours that are really cool.
I'm writing this down to
Yeah.
include in the blog post.
But you have a lot of places like Minas Gerais. I never been there myself because Brazil is really big. It's
It's
not like
huge.
so. I hope to go now more often. It's 11 years I don't go back to Brazil, so it's a lot. 3 to go to Brazil. We need to go. Now we are going back to Italy in the end of April because I need to renew my visa and see the family. Pray. Let's pray that they will renew. No, my visa has all the okay. I just need to put the stamp in the
Yeah,
passport. But
you
you
need to be
know,
there.
they always say until you are not with the stamp and until you are not back in the country, it's never guaranteed that you will enter. So
Yeah.
the immigrant life, it's not a easy life, I can say. And let's pray. Clara is asking, praying that they can give me the visa because Clara and Carlo are Canadian and they don't need the visa in the passport, so they don't have this issue. But Davi and I are Italians and we have this issue.
Okay.
So that we need, right? And so
I,
Clara says if they don't give the visa to mom, she cannot come back and she
when
will
you
be
meet
in
Mama.
and I know, Clara. It will not happen. Then you fly back and you need to ask money for buying the ticket.
Wait, hold on, Clara. This I understood. She was saying money.
Yeah.
I got that one.
To go to Florence and then stay there. Yeah, it will go through. It
We'll
will.
work out. We'll work out. Well, ladies, thank you so much for your time this morning and for your insights. And it's just been such a joy. And most of all, I'm happy to know you're my sisters in Christ. That makes me happy.
Yeah.
So I will be sure in the description of this podcast when I launch it in a few weeks, I will make sure that I include, of course, links to your website so that people can go and look at your beautiful art, Clara. But thank you, ladies, so much.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. Mwah. And God bless you. God bless both of you.
Bye.
God bless your whole family. Talk to you soon, ladies. Thank you.
Bye.
And to all of my guests, until next time, stay colorful. Bye, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Coloring My Way Across the Globe. I hope that you've enjoyed the conversation, and we would love to stay connected with you throughout the week. The best way to connect is by subscribing to our newsletter at www.lfbcolor.com. That's www.l as in Lauren, F as in Frank, B as in boy, color, COLOR.com. Also, you may find us on Instagram using the same handle, LFBcolor, for the latest stories, podcast guest profiles, travel photography, language learning diaries, and my own colorful art. Hope to see you there, friends. Thank you again.